So with Roman Bank, we purchased it for 85,000, but we didn't pay a penny for it. And that profit's about £90,000 a month. Not a year, a month. Total monthly income of £122,244. And you think to yourself now, bloody hell, that's a lot of money.
Let's hand over to our final presenter, Gary Sandford. Is it for Gary?
Hi everybody, I'm Gary. Hi. And wow, what can I say? Apart from being on the longest mastermind ever, Mastermind 29, and meeting some amazing people, I can honestly say that I've learned everything. I've learned everything from all of you. So whatever I've learned on my mastermind journey has come from somebody in this room. Yeah, a bit about my journey. I call this 1985 to 2008. They're my apprenticeship years because they were all leading up to where I am now. You know, I started off as a bricklayer, and I worked my way through, all the way to a contracts manager, earning a massive salary. I was about £85,000 a year, and then as much as Tom said earlier, I went home one day and just said, I'm not doing it anymore. I can't do it. I can't be away from home 5 nights a week. I can't do it anymore. So I decided that I was going to set up my own business and start investing in HMOs. So in 2015, after investing in a few HMOs with some other companies, I decided to go it alone. I remortgaged everything I had. I drew every single penny out of every single bank account. My first property, every day for 4 weeks, myself and my wife went down to the bank with our credit cards and drew £500 out in cash. Literally, that's what we did every single day for 2 or 3 weeks just to get enough money to buy our first property. Built up a fair-sized portfolio. So my journey on Mastermind is probably, it is one of property, but it's more one of a personal journey. You know, BRRIs, I found them easy. You know, they're not easy to do, but I found them easy. I found it easy to find a deal. I found everything else. So people will ask me all the time, why did you join Mastermind? You had a big portfolio. Why did you join Mastermind? Well, I joined Mastermind because I had mindset issues. And the biggest problem I had was me. I was the biggest thing. I was getting in my own way. And I worked on it without Mastermind. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Everybody kept saying to me, oh no, you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. Couldn't do it. Now I've got this massive, great big new family. It is fine. It's easy. It's easy. Because as it's been said 3 or 4 times today, that there's somebody in this room that will help you with something. So that was it. 2020, Holsford was born. Now, for me, I say that was the beginning of my property journey when Holsford was born, because we've done, as you all know, I do the emergency housing thing and everything else, which we'll get onto a bit later. And at present, just with Holsford alone, we've had over £3 million of investment, and we've housed over 5,000 people. So for Holsford, that's quite a big achievement. A couple of case studies, because I've been told I've got to put case studies in because it's something to do with this board here. I'm not sure what it's all about, but £1 million and £50,000 income. And they say that it's not a competition. What a load of shit. You tell somebody that they've got to get to that, it becomes a competition. So here's a couple of case studies that we've done. If you can see, there's some before and after pictures. They're all self-explanatory, really. Church Street, that was a Grade 2 listed building. I think Hugh came out and see it. It was a Grade 2 listed building, so all the ceilings had to stay. Everything had to stay. All the banisters had to stay, even though they look like they're new, but we'd gone round them. We'd clad them all. We'd done everything, so everything originally stayed. Also, this property had subsidence, and here's a top tip for anybody. The back wall had dropped by about 25 mil, and we had quotes in from underpinning companies to come in and underpin it, and they were talking like 16 to 22 grand. We found a company called GeoBear. So I don't know if you want to write that down, but they jacked it up, and it cost £6,000. And they give you a 25-year guarantee on it. They literally jacked the building up, all the floors went back to where they were, and that was that. So, and on the other side, that's what it looked like when we'd nearly finished. Just some numbers on that. It was on the market via estate agent. I've spoke about this deal loads of times because it is my favourite deal. I was on holiday at the time. It was on the market for 165. We actually bought it for 103. It was revalued at 330. The amount we borrowed was 230,000. It gives us a monthly profit of just over £1,000 a month. And we drew £38,000 out of it. Roman Bank, this is my all-time favourite deal. This is the best deal I've ever done. The numbers don't show it, but it is. So with Roman Bank, we purchased it for £85,000, but we didn't pay a penny for it. The guy, I'd already bought a property off him. In fact, I'd had two off him. And he come to us and he said to me, I've got this property, go and have a look at it. If you want it, take it. Have it, it's yours. Do what you want with it. Do what you want with it. And I thought, no way. When I looked at it, that's the state it was in. And we spent £9,000 doing it up. The end value was £125,000. I paid for it on the Wednesday. 3 Wednesdays later, I had all my money back. So it doesn't cash for us a lot of money, but it was a deal that I didn't have to put anything in. I only lent my money to that property for like 3 weeks. So that's an absolute steal for me. I loved that one. This is another case study of some ongoing garages that we're doing. So we purchased it it was on the market originally for 215. We purchased it for 150 on an option that we got planning permission. We've now got planning permission. We've paid for it. We paid 150 for it. The money we'll spend on it is about 120. End value will be 380,000. The mortgage will be about 200,000, giving us £100,000 of equity and giving us about a monthly profit of 1,700. I'm not sure if that's right, but it'll be around 1,700, and that's 4 new build flats. And there's a picture of my lovely truck there, look. I knew she'd get in there somewhere. Other people have their family. I've got my truck, look. This is me and Dan. I'm the good-looking one. Dan's my business partner, and we set up Holsford together, which is something that I'm really, really proud of. Really proud of. This is a property that we've bought, which is an old, it's the Potteries, which is an old pottery place in Billinghay. And that's turning into 6 2-bed duplex flats. Purchase price 220. We'll spend about 200 on it. The end value will be 650. The equity will be about 200,000. And we'll get a profit each month of about £2,145. 6 flats it turns into, which is, yeah, fairly cool. Well, I think it is anyway. Emergency housing. For me, like I alluded to earlier, this is something that I'm really, really proud of. Myself and Dan took a company on where people were buying into emergency housing. I see something more than just buying emergency housing off this company. And we took the company that wasn't making much of a profit, and we turned it round to a company now that's making it's turning over about £340,000 a month profit. Turning over £340,000 a month. We've got over £3 million worth of private investment, and that profit's about £90,000 a month. Not a year, a month. And with that profit, we're investing that into start-up companies, tech companies, basically any companies that we can make money out of, we're investing that into them. And we're looking at a couple at the moment. And best of all, we get to help other people. Like I said earlier, over 5,000 people we've helped house in 9 months. Hopefully by the end of the year, it'll be 7,000. Some of these numbers are that are maybe a little bit outdated now. So my year on Mastermind, I've purchased only £780,000 worth of property. That's what I've put in. There is a lot more than that, but that's what I've put in. Revalued profit is 1.1 million. The equity, 335,000. The passive income, that's from my property. That just these properties is £6,855 a month. My rent-to-rent income is £87,000 a month. My total JV income, this is with J fees that I've got with other people other than Dan, is £2,230 a month. My rent-to-rent income from the company is £26,159 a month. That gives me a total monthly income of £122,244. And you think to yourself now, bloody hell, that's a lot of money. But that is me investing every single penny back in. All I do is I take the 26,159. I don't take anything else. That is all I take. So my 87,000 every month, that goes back in. That goes back into the emergency housing. My total mastermind year will be 1.4 million. My top tips, I think most of the top tips I've already said, but here's my top tips. I said one of them earlier on. You know, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Learn to listen. That was said to me in my early days, and I still don't do it. I love the sound of my own voice. Be the best you. Don't try and copy anybody else. You see figures that people have come up here today said, and they're all amazing figures. See all these figures, and you think to yourself, "Oh my God, I want to be just like that." Yeah. Don't aspire to be them. Aspire to be the best you. Trust the process. You know, I unlearnt and relearnt everything all again. When I went on Mastermind MMA, I decided that I was going to unlearn everything that I was going to unlearn everything that I knew and relearn it the proper way, not how I thought it was done. So trust the process. Build a great team. Get a great team around you. I've got an amazing team, right? My team is, I'm going to put it out there, my team is the best team in here. I don't care what anybody says. I literally do nothing. I find a deal, I take it to them, I get it back when it's ready for refurb, and then I give it back to them when it's finished, and I don't ever see it again. In my Holsford business, we've got another team, exactly the same, and they're all headed up by Sharon, my missus. You knew that she'd be in there somewhere. She literally does everything for me. Her team literally run my businesses. So get a great team around you. Build yourself a great team. This has been said as well. You don't have to be an expert in everything. There's other people out there that are experts. You know, all you need to have them is at the end of the phone. So if you think that you need, if you think you need something, use other people. They're there they're there for you. So, you know, you don't have to be an expert in everything. And don't try to be an expert in everything, because that's a big failing as well. That's me. Just niche in one thing and be the best. Be the go-to person. Okay, so I started off with buy, refurbish, refinance, rent out. And now I would say that I probably niche in rent-to-rent. I want to be the go-to person in rent-to-rent, in emergency housing. That's what I'm aiming for now. So, you know, niche in one thing and be the best person at that. Surround yourself with people that are going to push you to the next level. By us being a mastermind, we're all doing that. We all surround ourselves with people that are going to push us to the next level. And celebrate the small wins, because they just pass you by and you don't realise they've happened. There's lots of wins that we've had on the way that we've just let go by. And I hear other people celebrating them. I think to myself, oh my days, we never celebrated that. We never celebrated our 5th house because it just happened. And knowledge is power. Be a master. And then ask for help. You will all be surprised how much help is there. I know that I could come to any one person in this room and ask for help. and they will give me some form of help or will point me in the right direction. And then, well, last of all, I'd like to say thank you. I have honestly learned something from everybody. Thank you to the backroom staff that put these events on every week. Thank you to Andy for the Sunday morning calls when I don't know what to do or I'm panicking about something. And yeah, that happens to me as well. And thank you to Simon, just for that one-word answer that gives you clarity. You know, he'll just say, or he'll say something, and it gives you that clarity that you know where you've got to go with it. Yeah, just thank you for everything, really. And it's great to be a part of a massive, great big family. And I do class you all as family. And one thing I would like to say before I go, I wouldn't have achieved what I've achieved today if it hadn't have been for Mastermind. I still would be doing BRRR. And I'd have been plodding along. I'm saying my portfolio would have grown, but it would never have grown the size it has now. Yeah, so thank you.
I do hope you got massive value from watching this YouTube video. I'd encourage you to click on the link below to come and do the online training with me. And I've got another video lined up for you, which I think is also going to be really useful that you should watch once you've registered for the online training with me. So invest with knowledge, invest with skill. I'll see you very soon.